You see they're dry. You see there's no marrow in the bone. You see they're scattered all over the valley. They ain't even full skeletons. I mean, the bones are scattered all over the valley. They're just bones. But answer me a question, Ezekiel. Can these bones live? Ezekiel answers the only way he knows how to answer. Lord, you know. Critical race theory was born out of critical legal theory. Am I teaching y'all something today? There emerged two common beliefs linking all critical race theories. First, white supremacy has subordinated black people and other people of color. That's just a fact. How in the world are you going to fight against that being taught in any school? White supremacy has subordinated black people and other people of color. That's a fact. Why don't you want that to be taught in school? You let your schools teach us that Columbus discovered America. That's a lie. You let your schools teach us that George Washington couldn't tell a lie. That's a lie. You let your schools teach us that some slave owners were beneficent and good slave owners. There were no good slave owners. Anybody who owned people was evil. That's a lie. You let your schools teach us that Abraham Lincoln was good for Negroes. No, Abraham Lincoln was trying to save the Union. And Abe Lincoln himself said if he could save the Union and keep black people in chains, he would do it. That's a lie. Come on, somebody. You let them teach us about a white Jesus. You let them teach us that Native Americans were the aggressors. Come on, somebody. That white folk had a manifest destiny and that the pilgrims were good to Native Americans. That's a lie. All day, every day, you let them teach us lies. All throughout my history in school, I was taught lies. But you got a problem with critical race theory because it teaches the truth that white supremacy has subordinated black people and people of color. The right to bear arms. Let me just back up a little bit and let me take you on back to the late 1960s when Ronald Reagan was the governor of California. And they were oppressing black folk, and a group of men and women known as the Black Panther Party decided that they were going to defend the rights of black folk. And the Black Panthers decided that the Second Amendment wasn't just for white folk. So they strapped themselves with guns and showed up at the Capitol in California. And when they saw them Negroes with guns, come on, somebody. That's why I say if you ever really want to get gun laws changed, just strap all these Negroes up. They'll change them laws before the week is over. When the Black Panthers, watch this, I want you to read, the California legislator passed what was called the Mofford Act. It was a gun control act that decided who could get guns, who couldn't get guns, what could be in your background, what couldn't be in your background. It was the first time in history that the National Rifle Association, the NRA, supported restrictive gun legislation, all because black folk had the nerve to get strapped. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, go get strapped. Amen, somebody. Y'all gonna say Bishop told us to get strapped. I said it. Go get strapped. It just got real quiet up in here. But y'all already know I'm a triple P. Amen. Y'all know what a triple P is, right? A pistol packing preacher. Amen, somebody.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning and welcome to the Black Love Experience. Bishop Talbert Swan with you, sitting in for Ben Swan. Of course, those of you on WTCC listening to me over the radio, you can hear the beautiful sounds of John Coltrane. Those of you who are tuning in over Facebook and other social media outlets, you can't hear those sounds because, the social media sites take down my video when playing certain music. And for whatever reason, whenever I play Coltrane, man, they take the video down. So you all have to be deprived of those wonderful sounds. But those of you who are listening over the radio, you can certainly enjoy them. Well, it's been quite a week. I mean, man, some stuff has been going on this week. So I'm going to try to hit on a little bit of this and a little bit of that. White Lives Matter. Kanye West and Coon Dance Owens and others, were at his Yeezy Fashion Festival in Paris wearing White Lives Matter shirts. And he went on Tucker Carlson to explain why he was wearing it and what it meant and why he loves Donald Trump and all this other kind of stuff. We'll touch on that a little bit. And then there was another advertisement. Every time there's a major campaign season, there's always ads and stuff that come out. Another one targeting black men. 2 years ago, you remember, it was Get Your Booty to the Polls, featuring Atlanta strippers. Because, of course, black men aren't intelligent enough to talk about the issues. So just show us some big booties and it'll get us to go vote. Well, this time they partnered with a dating app. It's not even a dating app, but as my sister Teslin Figaro says, it's a hookup app. And they got Saucy Santana and Trina to rap. And it was called No Voting, No Vucking. I didn't cuss. It's a V on the front. That's literally what they called it. No voting, no vucking. That's really what yeah. If you want to hit this booty, you got to do your civic duty. And then Trina challenged folks to gerrymander this coochie. Y'all, this is anyway. So you got no vote, you got White Lives Matter, you got no voting, no vucking, and then you got Herschel Walker's baby mama drama. Come to find out, he paid his jump off for an abortion, to have an abortion, even though he's pro-life, and he says that he believes he's anti-abortion for any reason, not for rape, not for incest, not even if the life of the mother is in danger. Total ban, according to Herschel Walker, except if my side piece gets pregnant. And so, of course, he came out and denied it. His son came out and blasted him, called him all kinds of liars and hypocrites and all that kind of stuff. So it's been a crazy news week this week, and we're going to get into it. Welcome to those of you who are in the Twitter Space, on various social media platforms. And for those of you who are listening in the Pioneer Valley, tell a friend, tell somebody. Bishop is on the air right now. I need y'all to do me a favor. I need you to rep your city. I need you to rep your town. Let me know wherever you are on social media. Let me know where you're chiming in from. Definitely want to acknowledge folks from wherever they are. I already see H-Town checking in. So let me know where you're chiming in from. We got to get our audience up on Friday. See, my listeners are used to me being on every Monday because I've been doing that for 20 plus years. So got to get my Friday audience popping. But good morning to you all who are jumping in with us on this Friday on the Black Love Experience. We're going to come right back after a short music break. And we're going to give you a little bit of Ferris Hill, as we always do. But let somebody know the Bishop is on the air, and we're going to talk about recap, the news of the week. Coming up shortly will be State Rep Bud Williams with our State House update. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
Growth. But the essence of growth has changed. The being in the road would be the end of the road if you refuse to change. Reach a little higher, reach a little higher, dig a little deeper, dig a little deeper, go a little further, go a little further. Come on, come on, come on. Reach a little higher, come on, yeah. Dig a little deeper, dig a little deeper, go a little further, go a little further. Come on, but don't stop. The essence of life is growth, but the essence of growth is change. The being in the road will be the end of the road if you refuse to change. Your life will never change until you get disgusted with where you are. Whatever you don't hate is what you tolerate. You must learn from the past, plan for the future, and live for the day. For it is your daily routine that determines your success or failure in life. It's the choices that you have made up until this point that will determine the rest of your life. So break the cycle that doing it enough is simply good enough. You won't get out what you put in, so don't settle for the crumbs when you can have the whole loaf. So push yourself, push beyond your limitations. Come on. Reach a little higher, reach a little higher, dig a little deeper, dig a little deeper, go a little further. Don't stop, don't stop. Come on, reach a little higher, reach a little higher, dig a little deeper, dig a little deeper, go a little further, go a little further. Don't stop, don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. So you gotta break the routine of trying to beat the system. Manipulators will always try to bypass the process for the quick progress. There are no shortcuts to success. There are no elevators to the top. You gotta take it one step at a time. You gotta break the routine of allowing others to get into your head and control who you are and where you're going. You see, when you're about the positive, you're gonna always have haters. But don't let your haters push you down, let your haters push you forward to the next level. So when people show you who they really are, don't perceive them to be something else that they're not. See, a zebra does not change his stripes. So you gotta keep pushing yourself to the next level. Yeah, there you go. Come on. Be a little deeper. Come on. Yeah. Go a little further. Go a little further. Come on. Come on. Yeah. Reach a little higher. Reach a little higher. Be a little deeper. Dig a little deeper. Go a little further. Go a little further. Come on. Come on. Come on. You got to understand the greatness is the nature that you were born out of. You'll never discover your greatness without hard work and dedication. Greatness is more about who you are and what you expect for yourself. And greatness will always attract greatness. Show me your friends and I'll show you the future. You just a step away. You just a step away. You just a step away. Don't ever give up. Come on. You just a step away. You're almost there. Come on. You gotta put yourself beyond your limitations. You see, there's no mountain too high, no valley too low. You can go where you want to go. It's all in the power of your imagination. If you can see the invisible, you can do the impossible. So stretch yourself. Take yourself to the next level. Come on, come on, come on. Reach a little higher. Dig a little deeper. Go a little further. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Reach a little higher. Dig a little deeper. Go a little further. Don't stop. Come on. Yeah. Come on. Come on. Blessings are coming your way. Go a little further. Don't stop. Don't stop until you get your dream. Don't stop. Get your dream until you get your dream. Come on. Don't stop until you get your dream. Don't stop. Get your dream. Come on. Yeah. Don't stop. Come on. Come on. Come on. Go. Go. Come on.
I look in the mirror and I like what I see. A strong, beautiful black woman staring back at me. One who's seen a lot of pain and had her share of sorrow, but who never gave up hope for a brighter tomorrow. I've been lied to, cheated on, and stolen from and hit, but it just made me stronger and I refuse to quit. That's right. And though I've been tempted, I refuse to stoop to their level. Don't go down. I rose above that nonsense and made a liar of the devil. All right now. The devil who said I wasn't good enough, cute enough, or worthy of love, I kicked his butt with divine power from above. Power that says I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me and brought me out of darkness so that I could see that I'm smart, I'm beautiful, I'm a child of the King. Abundant love for me, he came to bring. Oh yes, when I look in the mirror, I love what I see. She's looking good. That strong, beautiful black woman, that woman is me.
90.7 WTCC. Good morning, everybody in the Pioneer Valley and beyond. Massachusetts, Connecticut, Vermont, New York, all those who can hear us in the valley, and to those in the social media audience, welcomes to another edition of the Black Love Experience. Remember, Monday morning we're live on the spoken word here on WTCC, and then every Friday at 9 a.m. we've got the spoken word. I'm sorry, I said the spoken word for Monday. We got the Black Love Experience on Friday. So let's get into this. White Lives Matter. Let's just cut right through the chase. And I know there are those of you who are going to say, Bishop, what's wrong with saying white lives matter? Don't all lives matter? Just stop it. Just cut it out. There's never been a question in America ever, not never, ever, about whether or not white lives mattered. Okay? Never been a question about that whatsoever. We know America thought white lives mattered when white folks came over here from Europe and genocided Native Americans and indigenous people and stole their land and broke every treaty they ever had with them. We know they thought white lives mattered when they enslaved Africans to work the land and owned them like property and treated them like animals and chattel and enslaved them in perpetuity. Okay, sold their children, raped and lynched and brutalized and dehumanized them. They didn't do that because it was a question about whether or not white lives mattered. Okay, when white folks went around the world colonizing non-white people, particularly black people. We know they did that because they thought white lives mattered. Okay? There's never been a question, neither in America nor in any other part of this globe, as to whether or not white lives mattered. And let's just stop the foolery around trying to attach the term Black Lives Matter, the statement, the reality that Black Lives Matter with an organization or a group. Because I know that's what you all do when you want to gaslight the issue. So when Kanye says everybody knows Black Lives Matter was a scam, of course he's referring to the news reports that the founders of Black Lives Matter allegedly stole millions of dollars that they had raised that never went to support the families, and they bought mansions and yada yada yada. Okay, let's say all of that is true. Okay, that has nothing to do with the statement, the fact, the reality that Black Lives Matter. So let's just separate that right away, because some of y'all Negroes try to jump on that bandwagon. Okay, the term white lives matter, the term all lives matter, were both reactionary terms to rebuff, to refute the term Black Lives Matter. Because bigots tried to gaslight the issue as if black people were saying only Black Lives Matter, and they know that gone well, that's not what we were ever saying. What we were saying is that in a nation where black lives have been enslaved, lynched, murdered, brutalized, dehumanized, ostracized, redlined, segregated, and all of that, that Black Lives Matter, because America has never recognized the worth of black life. Right? The dehumanization of black people was codified in the founding documents of this nation that claimed we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. It never meant all men, just like y'all never meant all lives. The all lives matter is synonymous with all men are created equal. Because in those founding documents, what they meant was all white men are created equal and are endowed with certain unalienable rights, among them life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. They never meant that black people had the rights of life, liberty, or the pursuit of happiness. So White Lives Matter was a refutation, was a response to Black Lives Matter. It was a racist response to Black Lives Matter. And Kanye is making his mama roll over in her grave and has been on this buck dancing, tap dancing, butter biscuit eating, Uncle Ruckusing white supremacy apologist act for quite some time. The whole this MAGA hat makes me feel like Superman. The whole going into the Oval Office and hugging the son of a Klansman. All of that. Talking about slavery was a choice. Jumping on the bandwagon of white evangelicals and worshiping his white Jesus. Now, Kanye went from F the police, that's how I treat them. Okay, we buy our way out of jail, but we can't buy freedom. He went from that to white lives matter. He went from George Bush doesn't care about black people to white lives matter. Then he goes on Tucker Carlson and says, well, the reason why I say white lives matter is because they do. But that's never been a question. Why does a black man need to go on the television program of a white supremacist in a predominantly white nation where systemic racism is the order of the day and the subjugation of black people is the norm, to tell that nation that white lives matter? What the hell is that about? I mean, come on, man. And y'all need to stop defending this dude. These are to all my people out here. He's a genius. He's an idiot. You can't convince me that anybody who speaks down to his own people, who promulgates an ahistorical perspective about slavery being a choice, you can't tell me that anybody who goes against his mama's home training about the worth of people who look like him is a genius. He's a coon. He's a coon. He's a shine. He's a buck dancing sellout. I said it. Go on and play it. Go on, screenshot it. Go on, send it out to somebody. Go on, send it to the national church. Send it anywhere you want. I said what I said. (413-337-1867). All right, let me get off of that. I said what I said about Kanye. All right. Kanye and coon dance. Matter of fact, I said today I'm just going to change the word coon to Kanye. So when I tell y'all to stop Kanyeing, you know what I'm saying. It's synonymous with coon. Stop Kanyeing. Y'all, some of y'all need to stop Kanyeing. Oh boy. All right. No voting, no vucking. Some of y'all gonna get offended. Some of y'all good church folk. I know some of y'all gonna call the presiding bishop and say Bishop Swan was cussing. I'm not cussing. I'm saying what the advertisement said. VUCKING. The black app, a partner with When We All Vote, the organization founded by Michelle Obama, came out with a video targeting young black men. Basically said, if you don't vote, you can't get this sex. Now, what's offensive about this Democrat-supported project, because everybody around it is a Democrat. They weren't targeting Republican voters. Y'all know it, so don't even play. Don't even pretend. Roland Martin is jumping on my Twitter page talking about the Democrat Party didn't put this out. I never said the Democrat Party put it out, Roly. You know, Roland is always putting on a Superman cape whenever he perceives that somebody is criticizing Democrats. Dum 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 dum! Roly-poly to the rescue! Some people are more Democrat than they are black. And this isn't the first time Roland has come for me. It's the third or fourth time. Anytime he feels like somebody's being critical of Democrats, he jumps in the phone booth. And he's transformed from Roland Martin, unfiltered reporter, to super roly-poly to the rescue for the Democrats. So I never said the Democrats put out the ad, but everybody around it, everybody at the Black app, everybody at When We All Vote, anybody affiliated anyway is a Democrat. So we know who's supporting it. So let's not play games with that. Let's not play games with that. And what's insulting about it is that Democrats and those around them feel like the way that we communicate with black men is to appeal to their genitals. Because black men aren't intelligent enough to be engaged on the issues. Like, we don't want to talk about education. We don't want to talk about reparations. We don't want to talk about wealth gap. We don't want to talk about police brutality, white supremacy, and the profiling of black people, the extrajudicial murder of mainly black men on the streets of our city. We don't want to talk about entrepreneurship. We don't want to talk about investment in black businesses. We don't want to talk about cleaning up our neighborhoods. We don't want to talk about family values. We don't want to talk about none of that. So we're going to appeal to black men through sex. Now, they did that mess 2 years ago when they came out with get your booty to the polls, get your booty to the polls, get your booty to the polls, with Atlanta strippers coming down the pole, shaking their booties, because this is how we appeal to black men. Because we're so shallow that you have to appeal to our primal nature and our sexuality. This time, they didn't do it with just women like they did with Get Your Booty to the Pole. This time they had a gay man and a female rapper. So take your choice. Whether you wanted to tap Saucy Santana or whether you wanted to tap Trina, you had your choice, but you can't, in the words of the video, if you want to hit this booty, you got to do your civic duty. So whether you wanted to hit Saucy Santana's booty or whether you wanted to hit Trina's booty, you had to go vote first. That's the message to black men. We don't care about y'all getting shot and killed in the streets. We don't care about the fact that black men with a college degree make less money than white men with a high school diploma. We don't want to fix that. We don't want to talk about that. We don't want to talk about policy. We want to talk about, if you vote the right way, you go pull the Democratic lever, then you can hit this booty. I mean, how insulting is that? How disrespectful is that to black men and black people? How disrespectful is that to black women? To basically tell them that the way you get your dumb, ignorant, unintelligent black male interest to vote is to withhold the coochie. But if you can get him to the polls, then in the words of Trina, he can gerrymander this coochie. Y'all, I know some of y'all are offended. I know y'all are sensitive. This is in the video, though, y'all. This is how they're trying to appeal to black men. And then when people like me come out and criticize it, you get these Democrat shills like Roly Poly Martin who want to come and defend the foolery. Oh, Lord have mercy. Let me get Ibrahim up in this Twitter space. Ibrahim, you got the microphone. Holla at you, boy. 413-337-1867 is the number here. Ibrahim, you got the mic. All right. Going once. Going twice. You're out. Can't wait all day. 413-337-1867. Yeah, that's what's happening. That's how sisters, that's how you get your black man to vote, is withhold the coochie. Okay? Good morning, caller.
One, Reverend Bishop.
Yes. How are you?
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
It's a pretty good, beautiful day today. Just want to give you a quick state house report.
All right.
First of all, on October 17th at STCC, we hope CDC will be rolling out their vision for Mason Square in the city of Springfield at 4 p.m. So we're inviting all of the public to come out and imagine and talk about new affordable homes and small businesses and broadband and all that other good stuff. That's October 17th. Monday at 6.
All right.
Well, the 20th. We'll be announcing that as we go further. Also on next October 15th in Panache, 827 State Street, there's going to be a cancer drive-through fundraiser with COVID vaccinations, including the latest vaccination, 11 to 2. That's going to be with Black COVID Coalition, Dr. Harris from Healthy Matters, the Brethren and Urban League, some other organizations. So it's a fundraiser drive for cancer. Try to take donations. We'll do vaccination shots at the same time. There's going to be a $25 gift certificate with that. Now, you did something similar to this a few weeks ago. So we're just trying to make sure that our folks are made aware that the vaccinations are available and that we need to be taking the vaccination, the latest booster. And if you haven't had the booster, the Moderna or the Pfizer. And I plan to take mine next Saturday if I live and nothing happens. So I encourage folks to come out, Panache, $25 to get a shot, and bring a donation. What we're trying to do from the Black community perspective is raise money through our community and let them know that we have because a lot of times you see a lot of images and pictures on magazines and stuff, and it doesn't really reflect a lot of Black and brown people, especially Black people. We raise money, we'll give it to them, and we'll kind of be happy with that. So also we're working very hard. We're getting tables for you, Rev.
All right.
Bishop. You see, you will be next. I'll give a better report next Friday.
All right.
But we're hustling. Gonna make this pretty good. Your tickets, the in person should just about sold out.
Yeah, those of you who haven't got your in-person ticket, I'm not sure how many we got left, but we only have a limited number, and we're getting there if we're not there already. So I'm gonna put the link in the chat, and you guys need to go on and click that and get your ticket. Bishop Vashti McKenzie is going to be with me on October 27th. So if you want to be in person, you got to get your ticket like right away.
That's true. That's for real. I know the brother. We plan to purchase a full table, and take it from there. This should be very exciting times. And just the fact that you're bringing folks of that caliber to the city to bring a message. And she's going to have a message. No, she's going to have a message. And I think it's very important that we recognize and support. And I think this thing will be a sellout for you. I hope I'm right. The only other thing I'd like to talk about, Bishop, we'd like to get to that. I saw your interview. Oh yeah, on yesterday we were able to give for neighborhood housing services $100,000. That's from last year, and to help them with their programming up there and first-time home ownership and education and repairing businesses. We're able to help them, and hopefully we'll begin to repair this community, Bishop, at all aspects as we try to, secure funding for much of what we do in the Mason Square community. With that being said, coming up, we have questions on the ballot, and I think you should have received your ballot questionnaire from the Secretary of State's office. And those ballot questions, which were very important and affect your life. Mm-hmm. And the first one, Bishop, is we call it the Millionaires Tax, which is a tax, a question run, additional tax on income over $1 million. And it's the Millionaires Tax, as most people know it. And there's a lot of opposition to this. As you might know, a lot of millionaires are putting a lot of money in to flip this question. Now, I don't know if individuals are familiar with the Millionaires Tax, but here's the summary. This proposed constitutional amendment would establish an additional 4% state tax income on the portion of annual taxable income in excess of $1 million. This income level would be adjusted annually by the same method used for the federal income tax brackets to reflect increased cost of living. And here's a good thing with this, Bishop. And I told leadership and boss, I would support this, but I want to a lot of times we do revenue sharing proposals that affect the state and folks down in Springfield and Western Massachusetts and so forth. But when it comes time to share the revenues, kind of lacking. We don't get as much as we should get. So the revenues from this tax will be used to educate public education, public colleges and universities, repair of maintenance of roads, bridges, and public transportation. All those categories affect our community. So I'm supporting question one, a yes vote. So we can tax millionaires. As you might know, Bishop, there's a lot of millionaires that don't pay a lot of taxes. Some of them don't pay any taxes. And they'll chase someone like you and me and other average people and make sure we pay our taxes. Meanwhile, big boys, really, I don't want to get into Exxon and Mobil and all those conglomerates that, don't pay any taxes. They get tax credits. This is going to be good, so I want folks to pay attention. We should have received your guide. There's several other questions, but I think we'll just deal with this question one today, Bishop, which is the real big one.
All right.
And the other piece, which is very frustrating, is that, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, we have excess of billions of dollars that we have to return in terms of some kind of tax credit or rebate check to individuals. Now, you might think that that's going to work for all of the population in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, but that's not true. What's going to happen, this is why we need a fair tax system. You will get 13% of what you pay for taxes. So if you pay $10,000, you get $130 or whatever. Okay? So if you're an average person, average citizen, don't expect a big check. Now, if you're a millionaire, this is a different issue, and you pay $40,000 and $50,000 in tax, you get 13% of that. Some of these folks only get checks for $20,000 and $30,000 and $40,000 and $50,000 from the government. So it's not a fair system. We have to really take a look at that. If they really want to be fair with this tax rollout, just give everybody $1,000 and be done with it.
Gotcha.
I'd like to know your perspective on that, because that's what it's going to. You and me want to get, you probably get $30, $40. Probably be the same. Whereas if you're a highfalutin, and that's not fair. The rich get richer, the poor get poor.
Absolutely. The millionaire tax is absolutely necessary, but it's also necessary that everybody looks through all of the questions that came, because that is often the most confusing part of the ballot, is how to respond to the various questions. And sometimes it can be tricky. And sometimes a yes vote actually means you're against it, or a no vote means you're actually for it. And so you've got to know exactly how to vote on each particular question that's on there.
Well, this one is pretty cut and dry. If you vote yes on question none, you're voting to impose an additional 4% tax on the portion of income over $1 million. And if you vote no, that means you're voting against it. Of course, the millionaire folks are saying it's unfair, it's unconstitutional. You got to run people out of Massachusetts. They're all going to go to Florida. They're going to go to Texas. They're going to go to the other states. But we know that we're trying to make a fair system. The tax system is broken. It's not a fair system. If you can afford to hire 5, 10 lawyers, you can beat the system. And that's exactly what these big corporations, they just hire lawyers and they delay. And when you get a corporation like Exxon, who doesn't pay any tax, and Walmart and all those folks, it just doesn't, to me, as an average person, it just doesn't make sense. This will go a little way, and there's going to be pushback on this. These millionaires are not, and then what happens is that you get a lot of bishops, a lot of money comes them out of state. Sometimes when you have these questions, it's folks, these national groups, these millionaire groups are all over the country. They would dump money into to the Commonwealth to try to discourage people from voting. So that's question. There's 4 questions actually. We can discuss them next week. But the other one was regulation of dental insurance, which I think we should do. And the other one, which I really don't care about, was question 3. Expanded availability for licenses for the sale of alcohol beverages. The bar owners and the package owners got together, got enough the petition to put it on the ballot so they could hold more liquor licenses. That's what it comes down to.
Gotcha.
A yes vote will increase the number. Right now, they can hold basically about 7 licenses. Now they're trying to hold a little more than that. So that might be a question folks may or may not be interested in. And the last question is the Mobility Act, which was the licenses, not in the packing information for voters. I don't know. Well, maybe because they were doing the petition, and they got there late. But that's where we are. And also, I saw your interview, a great interview. This voter trying to discourage black folks, black men to vote. There's better ways to encourage people to vote, I believe. Get better candidates. Come and talk to the people.
Yeah, maybe talk about the issues and not about whether or not they get the vuck.
Well, it's a catch-22. Bishop, I'm very nervous about this election. You pay attention to current events, and you have the pulse of the country basically. And Donald Trump is still at it, and Donald Trump minions. And if they can flip the Senate, it's 50-50 now, and Kamala Harris has the deciding vote for vice president. And the House, the margin is just a few reps. If we lose the Senate, U.S. Senate and the House, we're going to go back. We're going to go back to a very dark time in America's history. I believe we're still going to fight. We've been here before, the Bill Connors and George Wallace's and what have you. But it's a different type of fight. It's a sophisticated fight, as you talk about this on a daily basis, and we have to understand that there's a lot at stake. Look at Georgia. I mean, Herschel Walker is just an embarrassment.
Yeah. See, my thing though is, and oftentimes when black people say we, they're basically talking about Democrats. It's Democrats' race to lose. I mean, to lose a part of your constituency because you don't want to engage that constituency is nothing that can be blamed on the Republicans. If Democrats lose a significant portion of the black male vote because they refuse to engage black men on the issues and decided to insult their intelligence with stuff like no voting, no vucking, and get your booty to the polls, and then just decide to blame anytime a black man has an issue with a female candidate. Case in point, they're complaining that black men aren't supporting Stacey Abrams at the same level that they're supporting Raphael Warnock. Well, Abrams is not running against Warnock, and perhaps Warnock's campaign has done a better job of appealing to black men, but to simply dismiss black men and say, if you don't vote this way, it's because you're a misogynist or you're down with the white supremacists. That's not the way that you engage our community. And all they're doing is pushing black men further and further away.
But you're absolutely correct. You're absolutely, sometimes you look at these races, and you look at the issues that they talk about, and I mean, you got to be broad-based. I understand that, I get that, but a lot of times, I don't think candidates engage black men. I mean, very rarely do you have a black men's rally, so to speak. And you have all these other rallies. Women have rallies all the time. They have get-togethers all the time. I'm not knocking that. I have nothing against that. But the fact that, because when you come in and you talk to black men, it's a different conversation. It's going to be a straight conversation. It's going to be a tough conversation. And I certainly, black men want whatever, but first of all, we want respect. We want people to respect us as a race, as a human being, first of all. And we want to talk about the issues. And I think employment is always huge. Opening a business is always huge. Mass incarceration is always huge. And all this whole country's talking about equity and civil rights and inclusion. And meanwhile, black men, I was just reading an article the other day, and you look at the CEOs in this country, when you look at them, I don't think there's one black CEO over, maybe two or three, in the whole country of a major Fortune 500 corporation. So sometimes black men do the heavy lifting, Bishop, and I know we're capable and we're able, but then we sometimes don't reap the benefits. I was so happy when we did and we're going to bring that back up. We had the Black Lobby Day in the Commonwealth. I want to thank your help for that. And we brought all them, basically black men, but women could come. We brought 300 black men to the State House. We brought buses all over the state. We brought 300 black men to engage with leadership. And we're going to reestablish that. Well, we had a good thing going when COVID came. But that was one of those things where, individuals that was the first time in many years where folks actually just engage. You could, women have a group, black men have a group, the Asians have a group. It's okay. It's all right. And then we all come together and merge to go out and do something big. But sometimes black men, in the black men group, they talk about health, prostate cancer. You talk about all the health inequities. You talk about the current events in terms of jobs and getting involved in small businesses and just being respected. I mean, we started that. We had to. Because sometimes folks don't talk to black men as a group. Individually, you find very few focus groups that, I'm not, sometimes it comes out, might not come out right. But sometimes you need to talk to black men and just go in, shut the door and talk to them. And all this, no sex, don't give them no sex if they don't vote. You can't make nobody vote talking like that. You run people away.
Yeah, well, and unfortunately, that is where they have devolved this conversation to it, and to me, it's absolutely crazy. I just don't understand it. I mean, what are we gonna do? But challenge it. Correct, Rep? Okay, I think we lost the Rep. All right, I think we lost the Rep. He'll call back in. 413-337-1867. Yeah, we've got to come up with a better way to engage black men in the conversation. I mean, that's the bottom line. And if you don't, you're going to bleed black male votes to you're going to bleed black male votes to apathy. You're going to bleed black male votes to to just not voting at all. But what you gonna do? You need to have us in the room to have these conversations, because black men could not have been in the room when they decided to come up with no voting, no vucking. Black men couldn't have been in the room. There could not have been a black man in the room saying, "Yeah, that's a good idea." And that's exactly what we need to do. We need to tell black men that they don't get no coochie if they don't go vote Democrat. We couldn't have been in the room when that decision was made. I'm trying to get my telephone thing back up on this computer. I don't know what happened. I think it crashed. But if we're not engaged in the decision-making process by which you decide how to engage us, then we get foolery like no voting, no vucking. Let me get LaRon Martin up here in the Twitter space. LaRon, you got the microphone, brother.
Yes, sir. So thank you for allowing me to come up, man. First off, I want to shout you out for not only going back and forth with Brother Martin, but also with Dr. Brittany Cooper.
Oh, my goodness.
It's very interesting that she and a lot of people like her will always go back to the tried and true theme of black men are not voting for Stacey Abrams because we're patriarchal. When in fact, Stacey Abrams just recently started to reach out to black men.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Right. You can't make us an afterthought of your campaign. You cannot look at the demographics and know we're going to need X percentage of black men's votes to make this happen. But then you make them an afterthought of your campaign. We're going to start reaching out to them in September for a November election.
You know, like, and on top of that, man, if you look at the way that Democrats have always approached black people, and this is a larger thing, right? I was on LinkedIn a couple months ago, and I called out a lot of the white feminists, a lot of the white left. I'm like, why do y'all always say listen to black women? Why do y'all always praise just black women and not black men? Y'all don't do that to any other group. You don't see the Democrats, these white leftists, these white liberals coming out and saying, oh, let's listen to Latinas, let's listen to Asian women, let's listen to Muslim women, let's listen to indigenous women. You don't hear that. So that right there, that's problematic in itself.
And you don't hear white women saved conservatism. You don't hear that, man. Not at all. And my question would be, okay, if you all first of all, I don't agree with your definition of saved democracy. But if saved democracy means you got the Democrats in office, if that's what saved democracy means, my question is, how would you have done that without black men? How would you have gotten John Ossoff and Raphael Warnock in office without the black men that voted for them in numbers over 85%? You wouldn't have. So to sit here and pretend like black men had nothing to do with anything, and
it's ridiculous, right?
It's insane.
It totally ignores our contribution to the party. Also, I want to give a big shout out to Teslin. She was handling business yesterday regarding the no voting, no bucking thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, man. Anybody that is defending that is saying, oh, you got to meet people where they're at, that means you really don't know the people. Because black people, black men, black women are more intelligent than this. Again, you don't see the Democrats going out to Latinos, to Asians, people who do not vote in the high numbers that we do, right? So it's almost like swings, but it's like the shit is rickety unless every black person votes. So that, for me, Bishop, for me, Teslin, that ad just said to me, this is what you think about me. I'm just some sex-crazed beast. That's like some
and that's what kills me, is it plays right into that racist white supremacist stereotype that we are mindless beasts who are all about breeding and having sex, and so that's how we're gonna appeal to black men, is through their genitals, not through their intelligence.
No kind of policy whatsoever, right? And this goes back to what Brittany Cooper said, I believe, about 2 years ago, when she was essentially saying to black women, well, you need to withhold sex from black. And we're like, I'm like, come on, listen, I don't care about that. I'm all about policy, all right? I'm all about how are we going to reduce mass incarceration for black people? How are we going to get jobs? I don't even listen to it. I didn't listen to that crap rap, and it was so horrible. And so, for me as a black man, I say to black people, we have to push back against this. I don't care that if it comes from a black person, a black company. My question to everyone is that, and there had to be black people in that meeting, Bishop, right? So how could you fix your face to say this is okay? Like, either you're so disconnected from black folks that you don't see how this is wrong, or B, you just all about that guap. One of the two. Anyway, Bishop, thank you very much, man. Keep doing your thing. I'm a humongous fan. Tans, keep killing them, and y'all be easy out there.
All right, bro. Appreciate you. All right, let me tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to continue and get some of those of you up in the Twitter space that wanted to speak on this issue. I've got to transition off of WTCC. I lost my telephone connection, so we lost the rep, and those of you who were trying to call in. But I got to transition off of WTCC. So those of you who are listening over the radio, if you want to continue the conversation, jump on social media. Hit me up on Twitter. Hit me up on Facebook. Hit me up on YouTube, and we'll continue this conversation. For those of you who are in the radio space, I'll see you on Monday on the spoken word at 9 a.m. and on at 10 a.m. On Justice and Flow. So 9 and 10 a.m. on Monday, and then back at the same batch station on Friday with the Black Love Experience. Remember the NAACP Freedom Fund on October 27th. We put the graphic up a few times, but for those of you who can't see, bit.ly/104 Freedom Fund, bit.ly/104 Freedom Fund. Bishop Vashti McKenzie, President of the National Council of Churches, Chaplain of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, is our guest on that day. In-person tickets are limited and they're selling out. I believe we're going to sell out before the end of next week. So you need to hit that link and go on and get your ticket. All right. For those of you in Radio Land, until the next time I talk to you and you talk to me, remember God loves you, and so do I. The rest of you, stick with me. I'll be right back. All right, let's keep kicking it. We'll go a little while longer here in the social media space. I'm trying to see if I can get my phone line back up. I don't know what happened to it. I think I got it back in. Well, we'll test it out. If anybody wants to call in, let me get it up there. You can try it. We'll see if it works. All right, let's keep rolling with this conversation. No voting, no vucking. White lives matter. White lives matter. And I didn't touch on it yet, but Herschel Walker. Now this dude, so it comes out that this dude who said he's pro-life and he doesn't believe in abortion for any reason, not for rape, not for incest, not even if the life of the mother is in danger. No, total ban. Come to find out, dude paid a couple years back for a woman to have an abortion, to abort his child. And here's the thing. He gets on social media and lies about it. But he paid for the abortion with a check, with his name on the check. Dude, he didn't even give her cash, y'all. This dude wrote a check to the abortion clinic. She took a picture of the check, yeah. And then he lied. Dude, how you gonna lie about paying for it and you paid for it with a check? Good morning. Good
morning, Bishop. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. All I have to ask is, what type of butt dancing and Agents and Andy premium type of stuff is this going on this week?
Man,
I mean,
yeah.
oh, these poor blue checks. Oh, so sad.
Oh my goodness. This week has been crazy. I mean, crazy. Crazy. Yeah, I mean, between the White Lives Matter and the no voting, no vucking, and the baby mama drama, and man, it's been crazy this week.
I mean, the whole Democratic Party pretty much got bodied. Really, I just sat back and just, I think I might want to go pop a bag of popcorn. I mean, if you ask me.
Yes.
And there are some other things I like to address recently. You know, President Biden, he's trying to go into damage control, pardoning on marijuana. A little bit too late, Mr.
Crime bill.
1994 crime bill. A little late for that. In fact, very late.
Well, the thing about that, I said after he made his announcement, I said, okay, well, now let's follow that up by pardoning all of the first-time nonviolent drug offenders who found their way incarcerated or with a record because of the crime bill. And let's go further in encouraging every governor to do it, because a lot of the laws that were promulgated by the state were based on the truth in lending segment of the crime bill that promised them billions of dollars if they passed draconian drug laws and built prisons. So they'll say, oh, it wasn't the feds, it wasn't that law that caused mass incarceration, it was the states. But the 1994 crime bill incentivized the states to pass their own laws and build prisons. So it all goes back to that. So you got to do a lot more than pardon those for simple possession of marijuana.
I definitely agree. As far as, Kanye and Coon Dance, there's a saying that bad publicity is good publicity. I mean, the desperation is just weak. It's really sad. Y'all gonna put on t-shirts, and then everyone's like, oh, well, they broke social media. Well, I guess so. It's the broader society, if that's what they want people to focus their attention on, because you see, this is definitely some psychological warfare. I've seen this before. We've all seen this before. Yeah. Well, we're gonna do this problem, reaction, solution, and then on top of that, we're gonna gaslight, and then on top of that, we're gonna word salad, and switch things up. And then, what we're going to do is we're going to put on a little reverse psychology, and then we're going to put on fear mongering, because, we don't want that orange man. Oh, no, we don't want that orange man trying to here 2024. So we're going to pour on Mar-a-Lago. I mean, it's the same, but the psychological, this is a very sophisticated psychological operation.
Absolutely.
And people don't even realize this. I just looked at them and I said, do you realize what time we're in right now? Mm-hmm. Obviously not.
Yes, absolutely. Appreciate you, sis.
All right, so thank you, brother. You have a good rest of your day.
You too. 413-337-1867. I guess I got my phone lines back up. Okay. Let me get Borderline up here in the Twitter space. Borderline Psychotics. You got the microphone. Holla at you, boy.
Good morning. What's going on, Bishop?
How you feel?
Man, there's a couple of ways to go with this. But first of all, I would love to see any of my black people out there, go see if you can find Jewish people to make a no voting, no bathing. Like, you can't get saved from the ovens if you don't, Oh, like I don't understand what's going on here. There is no Black Anti-Defamation League. Mm-hmm. Like this is a hate crime.
Yeah.
The last one was a hate crime. A couple of your callers have already pointed out
that we have the evidence. Like you don't see Asians having commercials with ninjas and geishas, right?
Right.
You
Right.
know, with that Asian group over there, the B2K, you don't see them out there. These are things that they only do to black people, and I believe it's because, brother, we let it.
Yeah.
They got away. They got away with the first one.
Right.
What was the first?
Get your booty to the polls.
Booty to the polls.
Yeah.
They got away with that. Nobody black got up, made a stink, right? If we were to make a Jew, well, let's go back to
matter of fact, bro, there was a bunch of the shills who jumped out and applauded that foolishness. Jamel Hill was applauding it. Matter of fact, she was applauding this no voting, no vucking. She came out and said the line where Trina says gerrymander this coochie. She said that was a phrase that belonged in a museum. She praised it.
Is that not sick? Is that not a sick person?
Yeah, gerrymander this coochie.
This is what's so scary for me as a black American, because this is the representation of who is supposed to be serving me. And I don't mean Jamel Hill specifically, but I believe Michelle Obama was on that list too, right?
She's the founder of When We All Vote, who is a partner with the black app that produced the ad.
So I'm just going to say it like this. Again, I say this every time I talk to you. Black people are going through a literal genocide right now. This is crimes against humanity. This is how they demonized the Jews before killing the Jews. This is literally the playbook of what's going on. And it's so sad to me that there is not one black group willing, strong enough, or with enough power to make a stance or anything in our behalf. And that leaves us in a very, very, very precarious position, especially as we're talking about voting. Because as we're talking about voting, there's nobody to vote for to change the situation that we're in right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I mean, Bishop, you tell me, where are we in 20 years if the status quo continues to go on? I don't think there's much more of a chance that we have as black people to get from up under this subjugation if we don't make the stance now. Yeah. They have the police city that's being built right now. They've got IRS agents with guns right now. We're about to see a very nasty 20 years coming.
Well, and then don't forget. Don't forget.
This is as serious as it is. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, don't forget the stuff that the Supreme Court passed that has already passed off of people's radar. The whole border thing, where anybody who lives within a certain radius of the border, they don't even have to have warrants and stuff to search your house. And because I live in Massachusetts, which is off the Atlantic Ocean, I'm within that radius, which means that the Border Patrol agents can just randomly come and search my house without a warrant. So you got a lot of stuff that happened, and
that's where we get into terrifying territory.
Yeah,
the no-knock ways, all of this, and we're sitting around acting like it's not us. But I mean, basically, black people wake up and we play Russian roulette. It's just, are we going to be the one today? And that's basically how we're living now.
Yeah, definitely. Appreciate you, bro.
Yep, right on. I want to talk again, brother.
All right. Yeah, the brother's spot on, y'all. Let me get John DeRoos up here. John, you got the mic in the Twitter space. Holla at your boy. John DeRoos has got the microphone.
How you doing, Bishop?
I'm good. You?
I'm doing great, sir. Just want to hit on a few points of what you're saying and what the group has been saying.
All right.
And as far as us as African American males, one of the easiest ways to get rid of a race is to make it okay for you to get rid of yourself. And find that there are policies and people are creating environments where we can basically eradicate ourselves, and then no one gets the blame for it. That's something that I've noticed in a lot of the ideologies they try to push down to us from the left. Second of all, if you look at what's going on, our men are being wiped out of the equation, and then those who want to stay, the only way you're accepted is if you emasculate yourself, and then somehow you are hailed as some type of hero, and that's also a detriment to us as an African American male.
Yeah, the whole push against so-called cisgender black males is insane. And the fact that we literally have black women who are aligning themselves with liberal whites to fight against black men simply because they are straight black men is insanity. It's straight up insanity. I mean, how do we continue to procreate, to keep our families and our line going without the very men that you all are trying to castigate and toss to the side? It's mind-boggling.
Absolutely. And if you look at it from a biblical standpoint, the adversary has always tried to find a way to get rid of the man. Because if we get rid of the man, then you begin to destroy the structure that the good Lord put into place to keep his kingdom going. So in order to get rid of the kingdom, and the Bible tells you in order to come against a strong house, first thing you got to do is bind the strong man. So if you come out with these ideologies that negate the man and allows the man to be accepted if he takes a lower position or denies his gender or doesn't even acknowledge his gender, and we continue to facilitate environments and policies that keep our families from, you don't want to be a mother and a father no more. We call ourselves baby mamas and baby daddies. No one gets married anymore. No one values the sacred thing of marriage. We just want to live with each other. We don't want to live as one. We want to live with, or we want to live alone. All these things are destroying us. All these things constantly proliferate environments where it doesn't allow us to interact with each other. And as long as you can separate, you can conquer. And like you said, it blows my mind how us as a race went through all the things that we went through. And at one time, God was all we had. We leaned on him and we survived and we made it. Then somehow the acid of white liberal ideology leaked into our household and has been eroding us away ever since. And now it's becoming critical mass.
Yeah.
And like you said, if we don't stand up, what happened to the Million Man March we had? We haven't had one since. But those things, Bishop, I just wanted to say you're absolutely correct. This is my first time being in one of your Twitter spaces. Us as African Americans, we constantly have to be on guard because those liberal ideologies have nothing to do with making us better. They're only there to wipe us out.
Absolutely.
You look at the census, the last 10 years we've had almost negative growth as far as our population. The Hispanic population is now the second largest minority population in America.
Yeah.
We've been here for quite a long time, and we need to look at things like that. So I thank you very much, Bishop. I'm going to get out of your way. I've got a lot of listeners, got a lot of things to do. Thank you for holding something like this, and may God bless you, sir.
All right. Take care. Thank you, brother. Yes. Yeah, black family. And the brother hit on some biblical references. For those of you who are believers, and even if you're not believers, there are historical references of trying to destabilize black communities by going after black men. That's a reality. And we now have a society that does not want to hear from black men. They want to subjugate black men. They want to politically subjugate black men to, we don't want your voice. We just want your vote. Just like on the plantation, we don't want you to actually love your women or be fathers to your children. We just want to use your seed to breed so that we can produce more commodity. We can produce more people to enslave. But we want to snatch away your humanity. It's not about you loving your women. It's not about you taking care of your children. It's about you procreating so we can have a commodity. Same thing today. We want a commodity to fill our prisons. Yeah. And so they're telling black men, we don't actually value your opinion, what you have to say. We just want you to vote and vote the right way. Vote the way we want you to vote. That's it. That's it. And so we're not going to talk to you about the issues of concern because we don't really care what you're concerned about. Just get your booty to the poll. That's it. Just get your booty to the poll. And if you don't, then there's going to be no vucking. Because no voting, no vucking. I'm sure that's not what Herschel Walker's mistress said. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been paying for that abortion. So there was obviously some vucking. But this is the way they choose to insult us. This is the way they choose to insult black men. I'm gonna play this for you. Then I'm gonna get off the air. Let me play this for you, family. Let me play. And this is this is what y'all boy Roly Poly Martin tried to come for me for. And let me tell you exactly what I said. What I said was, neither party wants to actually engage black men. I'm reading word for word what I said. Neither party wants to actually engage black men on the issues. All right. Injustice, police brutality, education, reparations, a living wage, health disparities, economics, home ownership, business development, labor policy, immigration, white supremacy. They think showing us big backsides and having women threaten to withhold sex from us are the tickets to getting us to vote according to their agendas, because we are so shallow and unintelligent to think beyond what is below our belts. That's what I said. Roly Poly came back and said, the Democrat Party didn't put this video out. Nobody said the party. Nobody said the DNC put it out. Of course, Democrats were the backers, were the supporters, were the architects of it, were the ones who decided it was a good idea. You can't deny that. But he immediately jumped to defend Democrats, even when I didn't specifically call out Democrats. But every time I make a criticism, that indicts liberals or Democrats or anything, like I said, Roly puts on his Superman cape and decides he wants to come for me. This happens consistently. But let me show you the exact video that I made that Roly Poly decided he wanted to come for, and you tell me where the lie is.
Hey family, y'all remember the 2020 election when we had to look at this garbage? Get your booty to the ball, 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 get your booty to the ball.
Did we get your attention? Good. So, you really not gonna vote? You know it's more than just the president on the ballot, right?
The message was clear that the only way to get black men to the polls was to sell it to them with sex. That we don't have the veracity, the intelligence, the responsibility to exercise our constitutional right to vote. And the only way that you could get us to the polls was by showing us big booties. 2 years later, we got this garbage.
To be determined.
Yeah, you heard it right.
No voting, no fucking. Get your booty to the poll. No voting, no fucking. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Okay, so that's what that was the that was the video that Roland decided he wanted to come for me for. Now, y'all tell me, where was the lie? Tell me where the lie was. Tell me how I was wrong in terms of black men having the right to be offended because y'all decided that we aren't intelligent enough to talk to us about the issue. But you thought that we are so shallow that show us big booties or threaten to withhold the booty was the only way to get us to vote. Where's the lie? And then I challenge you to show me the video where they have targeted white men like that. Or any other demographic, Asian men, Latino men. Show me the video with the Latino stripper. Okay? Show me the video with the Asian strippers. Show me the video with the white strippers targeting white men. Where's it at? You're not going to find it because it don't exist. But you have so low regard and so little respect for black men that you figured, let's just show them Negroes some strippers. Or let's promise them that if they vote, they can vuck. This midterm is going to be interesting. It's going to be real interesting. Because I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Let me give you my predictions. Y'all not going to like it. But let me give you my prediction. Democrats going to lose the Senate and the House. Stacey Abrams will lose in Georgia. And then people will blame black men. Who will vote? nearly 90% for Democrats. And even though they will vote nearly 90% for Democrats, the Democrats will still then turn around and blame black men for their losses after they decided that black men weren't intelligent enough to engage on the issues, and that the only way we needed to market to them was to show them booties. All right, let's pick this back up on Monday. Monday at 9 o'clock, we'll be back on the spoken word. So tune in. If you're in the 413 and you're looking for a place to worship, check us out at the Spring of Hope Church of God in Christ, 35 Alden Street, Springfield, Massachusetts, every Monday morning, Sunday morning rather. Sunday, I'm thinking of the radio show when I said Monday. Every Sunday morning at 11 o'clock a.m. we'll be live, but we'd love to see you in the building. Love to see you in the building. Now, y'all stop acting like you can't go back to church yet, because y'all done went back to everywhere else. Come on, black people. Y'all are back everywhere. You're at the movies, you're at the grocery store, you're at the club, you're on vacation, you're everywhere and without a mask. You're everywhere else. Stop acting like, oh, I still might catch COVID at church, when you ain't worried about catching it nowhere else. Okay? So let's get on to church. Let's get your booty to the church. Get your booty to get your booty to the polls, okay? Anyway, 11 o'clock a.m. on Sunday. Would love to see you in the building. All right. And also remember the NAACP Freedom Fund. Tickets are limited. Bishop Vashti McKenzie will be with us. You can go to bit.ly/104 Freedom Fund and get your ticket to that. For those of you who are not in the 413, you can get a virtual ticket. You can get a virtual ticket. It's $50, and it includes your annual NAACP membership. All right. So let me get out the way, and I'm gonna holler at y'all. I'm gonna holler at y'all on Monday. All right, 9 o'clock a.m. 9 o'clock Monday. Spoken word. Be there. Peace and blessings. Until the next time I talk to you and you talk to me, always remember, God loves you, and so do I. Have a great weekend.